In 1823, Blackwood lay shrouded in an eerie mist. Whispers of the Watcher, a sinister figure lurking in the fog, haunted the villagers. Lydia Harrington arrived in Blackwood to teach. She dismissed the villagers' warnings as superstition. Lydia. Every town has its ghost stories, Mrs. Farnsworth. The Watcher is no tale. It watches from the shadows. Stay indoors after dark. Or you might never return. Lydia felt a chill creep along her spine, her heart pounding with unease. Her first week in Blackwood passed with an eerie stillness. The children avoided looking out the windows as the oppressive fog rolled in. Thomas stayed behind, clutching a worn book with trembling hands. Thomas, Miss Harrington, have you seen the Watcher? They say he comes with the fog. Lydia, the Watcher is just a story. Don't worry, Thomas. Thomas stared out into the mist, his eyes wide with fear. That night, Lydia sat by her window, determined to prove her own courage. The fog was unusually thick, wrapping the village in a heavy, suffocating silence. She thought of Thomas's words and shook her head. Lydia, children and their imaginations. But then she heard it, the soft, deliberate squelch of footsteps on the muddy road below. She peered out, her breath fogging the glass. At first she saw nothing but the shifting grey mist. But then a shape emerged, a tall, cloaked figure standing perfectly still. Lydia, who's there? The figure didn't move. It simply stood, shrouded in fog, its face hidden beneath a dark hood. Then came the sound, her name whispered on the wind. Voice, Lydia. She recoiled from the window, her heart pounding. How could anyone know her name? She locked her door and drew the curtains, but the whispering persisted, growing louder, closer. Voice, Lydia, come to me. That night, Lydia sat by her window, determined to prove her own courage. The fog was unusually thick, wrapping the village in a heavy, suffocating silence. But then a shape emerged, a tall, cloaked figure standing perfectly still. Lydia, who's there? The figure didn't move. Then came the sound, her name whispered on the wind. Voice, Lydia. She recoiled from the window, her heart pounding. Lydia stepped into the fog, clutching a lantern. The village was deathly quiet. A figure beckoned with a skeletal hand. Lydia froze, paralyzed by terror. The lantern flickered and died, plunging her into darkness. Lydia tried to scream, but the fog strangled her voice. She stumbled, her eyes locking onto the Watcher's hollow sockets and sinister grin. Lydia vanished, her cracked lantern found. The Watcher claimed another soul. Whispers of dread filled the village.